Hi viewers, in this session I'm going to explain about how to create a class in Java and how to declare instance variables in the class and how to create an object for the particular class and assign value to the variables, and then we will print the values of the particular variables. Okay, so before creating class in Java, I want to explain the SQL tables. Okay, let me open SQL table. You may be wondering why I need to explain tables while explaining Java, because if we know that how the table works, then we can compare with the Java class creation and we can understand more easily. So that is the reason I want to explain table structures. Okay, so this is the table I have created for the student. Okay, so student will be having name, department, roll number, address and phone number. So in SQL, how we will be creating a student table is like this: create table and table name. Table name is student, and inside this create table student we will be declaring the variables like this: s name, department, roll number, address, and these will be act as a columns for the particular table, right? So s name is a varchar, so it will be a holding the string value, so it is a varchar type. We can have 255 characters. Likewise for department and address also a varchar, because those columns will hold the string values. Meanwhile, roll number and phone number are integer type, because roll number will be having the numbers and phone number also will be having numbers. So that data type is int. So after creating the table, what we will do is we will be inserting the rows like this using the insert query. Insert into table name. So these are the columns we will be mentioning. For these columns, these values we are going to insert. So this is the example for the third row. So this is the row I have inserted here. So for S name, this is Prasad, and department is CSE, roll number, this is address and the phone number. So likewise, using three insert queries, I have inserted these three rows one by one. Okay, so after inserting the rows using select query, I'm just fetching the rows of the particular table, student table. So finally I'm having three rows inside this student table. Okay, in the same manner we will try to create in the Java class. Here we have used SQL for creating the student table. So in a similar manner we will be creating a Java class. So in Java, this is how we will be creating class. We need to declare class, and class name we need to provide, that is student. Okay, so according to Java naming convention, the class name should have the first letter as in uppercase. Okay, if suppose we are having to like a college student or school student, so this college first letter has to be in uppercase, and also the second word student first letter also should be in uppercase. So this is the Java standard for declaring the class name. Okay, since here we will go with the student alone. Okay, uh, first letter is in uppercase. Okay, after creating a class we need to declare the variables like this: s name, department, roll number. So in Java we need to go with string for s name and department and address. So each language will be having different data types. So in Java, in order to hold the strings, we need to declare that type as string. Okay, address. And for phone number and roll number, we will be having the integer data type, int data type. Okay, so that's all. Now we have created a class, like we have created a table in SQL. Okay, so after creating table we will be inserting the values, right? So here in Java what we need to do is we need to create an object for this particular student class. Okay, so how we can create an object in Java. Student obj1 equal to new student. So this is how you need to create an object. Okay, so I will explain this one. Whenever you say new, whenever you use new keyword, what it will do is it will try to create an object. Okay, so what object it will try to create? This is the object it will try to student class. So for this student class, it will try to create an object. Okay, it will create one object. Inside that object, it will hold all the instance variable. So we used to call these variables as instance variables because it is inside the class. Okay, if it suppose if it is inside the method, then we used to call as normal variables. But if it is inside the class, we used to call it as instance variable. Okay, so after creating an object, those instance variables will be residing inside that object. Okay, let me show in a diagram so that it will be easy to understand. Okay, so in memory, whenever you say new, one object will be created like this. One object will be created like this. So inside that object, so all the instance variable like yes name, department, address, phone number, and roll number. So these 5 instance variable will be residing inside this object. Okay, so for which class we have created an object? Student class. Okay, so for that student class, one object will be created, and inside that object, whatever instance variable we declare in the student class will be coming over here. Okay, so these 5 instance variable will be coming here. Okay, so now we have created an object like this. Okay, next step is we need to point to that particular object using some reference variable. See, there is no use by having this object. We need to point this object with some reference variable. Using that only we can access this particular object. Okay, so for that only we are using this obj1 equal to new student. Now how it will be is this. How, see, obj1 is a reference variable that is pointing to this particular object. Now using this reference variable, we can access this yes name, roll number, department, all the instance variable we can access. So with only using this object we cannot do anything. We need to have this reference variable, so that only we can access this variables. Okay, so for that only we are providing this obj1 equal to new student. This obj1 has to be of type student because we are creating an object for student class, right? We are creating an object for student class, so this obj1 reference variable type needs to be student. So that's why the whole statement is like this: student obj1 equal to new student. So whenever you say new object will be created for that particular class, all the reference variable, instance variable will be coming inside this particular object, and we need a reference variable, so we are giving obj1 equal to that thing. Using this obj1, now we can access this. This obj1 reference variable has to be of type that of that particular class. Okay, student. So now using this obj1, as I said, we can access C. Now you can see when I type obj1 dot, as soon as I type obj1 dot, you can see I can access address, department, phone number, and roll number. These 5 instance variable I am able to access it. So I will access one by one. Okay, any order you can use to assign values. So address values, first I will go with the name that is more understandable. Okay, so Sadish or Sadish and his name. So likewise department, roll number. Department is CAC, roll number 2800. So 2800. Okay, phone number is this one, phone number. This phone number and roll number is integer, right? So we no need to, you should not provide in the double quotes. A string alone should come in double quotes, okay, whereas the integer type will be coming in without single quotes. I will take a separate session for explaining this different data types in Java, like integer, string, float, decimal. Like that, we have many other data types, so I'll be explaining those in a separate session. Okay. So now we are assigned the values, but we need three objects. Right? See here, we are having three different rows. So for this particular one row, now we have created one object and we are assigned the values in Java. So for the other two rows, we need to create two other objects. Okay. See, once we assign the values, now the picture will be like this in the memory. Okay. See, before this is just an object creation. So while object creation, the picture will be like this, and after assigning the values, the picture will be like this. The same thing, yes name. Now we are assigning the values like Sadish. Roll number we are come up with the value. Department also we are assigned. Address and phone number also we are provided the values. So now the memory will be having the object. Inside that we will be having instance variable, and instance variable will be holding the value also. So this is the final picture of the particular object. So in the similar manner, we need to create two other objects like this in the same way, on obj2 and obj3. You can give whatever reference variable name you want. Just for my understanding, I'm going with obj1, obj2 and obj3. Okay, so I'm going to create two other objects. I will pause the video and I will resume on side and filling the obj2 and obj3. Okay, now I have resumed. See, now I have created two other objects like this. obj2 equal to new student. The similar manner, one object will be created. That object will be pointing by obj2, and another object is pointing by obj3. So inside that one, each object will be having corresponding yes name. This instance variable will be having inside those object also. So using this obj2, now I am assigning the values. For second object, I am going with Kumar CAC 28W01 and phone number. Likewise for obj3, name is Prasad CAC and its corresponding address and phone number, roll number. Okay, so now as like SQL, we have created three objects now. Using select, we are fetching the values here, right? So in a similar way, we will try to print the values in Java. Okay, so you know how to print the values using system.out.println, and name will be like this. So name we are going to print now. First we will be printing the obj1 object name. Okay, so similar way I will be printing